Good evening, traders. It's Monday, October 20th. Taking a look at the charts, equities had a pretty strong day across the board. We saw equities running higher with the NASDAQ up the most. If we take a look at the QQQ, we can see we were threatening all-time highs on the QQQ with the Magnificent Seven really muscling things up 1.5%. If we were to jump over to the small caps like the Russell 2000, didn't quite get near the highs. It's kind of bounced right back into the middle of its range from the high and the low over the past 4 trading sessions. And if we look at the IWC, which are the micro caps, they are kind of even a bit lower from the highs, kind of more so in the middle as well. So we're definitely seeing money move into the small and micro caps, but the indices like the NASDAQ getting to all-time highs and getting everybody overly excited is creating some more FOMO in the market. Now, if we take a look, we'll just go to the SPY here, and we look at our 30-minute chart and we look at the FOMO indicator, you can see this red here is our FOMO indicator. Tells us when the market has moved up really sharply and it's kind of short-term overbought and everybody wants in. They feel like they're missing out, that the bottom has been put in and they need to get in. We're seeing something very similar to that right now. The market had a big gap up, and pretty much all session it was in this FOMO indicator mode where everybody's just piling in. They don't really care what price. They just think we're off to the races, which we could be. We just have to see how this market is going to unfold going forward. But there's no doubt the market is still, when we look at our overall strategy and we look at the NASDAQ here, we have red bars. This market could very easily roll over, it could sell off. It could, go into something much bigger. The market internals underneath the hood, as we've looked at over here, when we look at our sentiment chart, we definitely do have a weaker market. If you've been watching these videos, you know that, this scenario over here was telling us big money was rotating out, even though the stock market was hitting all-time highs before we went into a big sell-off. And so we're in this phase again right now. And if we kind of look into the SP 500, you'll notice we still are inside these bars. This big red bar, these are all inside bars. And at this point, it is still more so a bearish chart pattern. Let's just take a look at the NASDAQ. We'll still be darn close, or it pretty much is at the upper end of this range in this bar right here. I don't really get too caught up if something closes a hair above or a hair below. It needs a pretty strong break, but overall pretty much the same type of price action. And I think it's similar if we look at the Russell 2000, a big down bar. It ended up flushing lower and having a knee-jerk reaction bounce. But again, the market trying to figure out what it's going to do.